Peace. What's the word, everybody? Give everybody a chance to tap in with the kid before we start building on the subject matter for the day. Hopefully, y'all having a powerful Monday, man. Starting the week off on an efficient, powerful, and productive note. Give everybody a chance to populate the chat, man, before we start building. Let me know how y'all feeling. Let me know how y'all living out here. Like I said, hopefully all is well on everybody's end. It's a nice day, kind of where I'm at. Nice little weather and whatnot, man. We enjoying the warmth before it started getting really cold, really real in the field. Tierra Peace Queen, what's happening? How you living? How you feeling? TZ, peace, what's the word? My brother, Magic Realms, peace, what's happening? What's the word? Better future, peace, appreciate that, man. You already know, man. We striving to keep it positive out here, man. We striving to keep it positive and informative. You know, that's all I aim for. All the divisive nonsense, man, I'm gonna let everybody else tend to those matters. Got enough platforms that deal with the daily gossip and just keeping us divided. We strive to be positive and informative out here. That's what we on. Clocks in, my brother. Peace. What's happening? I'm gonna respond to your IG message once I get off of this joint. Tamil, peace. What's happening? Appreciate that, my brother. Appreciate it. Evan, peace. What's the word? Cultivator Sports, peace. What's happening? MC, peace. What's the word? You said had some bad energy around this weekend, but there we go. As long as you bounce back. You know what I'm saying? We're going to be around that bad energy, man. That negative energy, we can't dodge it. You know what I'm saying? So we got to be around it at some point. So as long as you don't let it get you too down, man, as long as you bounce back. We had those days, like I said, we had those negative days, those positive days. But a lot of people, some people tend to stay in that negative state a lot more than that so-called positive state. You know what I'm saying? So it's all about that balance. Just peace, queen, what's happening? Infinite Charms, peace, queen, what's happening? You already know, man. I was chilling. Prodigal son, my brother, peace. What's the word? All right, Magic Rings. You know, like I said, we tapped in. Michael, peace. What's the word? TZ, what you say? Your homie went vegan for 3 months and reversed the seafood allergy he had since he was a kid. He's a believer now. Hey, there we go. I got a few people that I'm training. They striving to transition to that vegan lifestyle, man, and they already feeling the difference. Like I said, man, I'm gonna convert some people to that lifestyle because I know it's a game changer, especially with all the ailments that we face in the Black community. Most of the ailments that we face in the Black community, as far as our physical health goes, a lot of that can be reversed by going vegan, by going plant-based. Heart disease, all these cancers that we deal with, diabetes, these things can all be reversed and prevented by going vegan, by going plant-based, 100%. It's a lot of evidence out here that supports what I just said. Oh, better future, man. That's crazy, man. Whoa. That's crazy. But like a lot of people get too caught up in the nonsense, man. They can't handle it. Akuma, peace, what's the word? Andrew, peace, what's happening? Montel, peace, what's the word? Hey, Colin, peace, what's happening? And I want to give y'all, before somebody asks me, the book of the day. Book of the day for my peoples. It's a good book. Here you go right here. This non-violent stuff will get you killed. Y'all see it? Shout out to whoever granny this is on the cover with the strap, man. But hey, this non-violent stuff will get you killed. How guns made the civil rights possible. Grab this book, though. Here go the book of the day right here. This non-violent stuff will get you killed. How guns made the civil rights movement possible. Grab that book. That's the book of the day. Airview, peace, what's the word? Chuck, peace, what's happening? Yeah, Granny sitting on King 13, peace, what's happening? Granny sitting in the rocking chair with the strap. This is one of the best covers I've ever seen in my life. But here you go. This non-violent stuff will get you killed. Grab this book, man. Grab this book. It's the book of the day right here, man. Book of the day. A lot of people always ask me the book of the day, so I figured I'd beat y'all to it. But all right, man. Y'all see the topic for the day, man. The topic is mental and physical mastery. Self-control. Just having self-control, man. That's one of the most important aspects of life. Having that self-control. in regards to your physical health. Having self-control is seeing some food that you know is bad for you, but it used to be something that you bashed back in the day, and being able to have the power and the control to say, you know what, I'm not indulging in that. Being able to go around your family members during these so-called holidays and watching them feast on all the negative foods, whole while you tending to your greens, your salads, your fruits, your water, and you're not overindulging in foods that you once used to overindulge in. That's self-control. That's increasing your lifespan. That's improving the quality of your life. That's very important. That mental mastery in regards to self-control is being able to be in a room filled with people who are not necessarily positive, and not letting that control or dictate the flow of your emotions, the flow of your mind, the flow of your energy, the flow of your vibe. So you the sole controller. So when you get amongst these negative people, instead of allowing them to dictate your energy, you exercise your control and power. And you say, okay, cool, everybody in this room is negative, but I'm not about to allow them to bring me down to their level. That's self-control. That's self-control. A lot of people do not have this self-control and this power over oneself. Instead, we will allow the vibe that's in the room to consume us and influence us and dictate the flow of our emotions and our energy. Don't do that. Don't do that. You got the power. You got the power. Don't blame these other people. Don't blame everybody else being down in regards to why you are feeling down now. No, you got the power. You got the power to say, all right, cool, everybody in this room is down, but I'm good. You have the power. You have that power. It's self-control. Being able to control oneself mentally and physically. Shantae, peace, queen. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. So again, it's all about your perception. The people that's in that room, they are negative, they are down or depressed for whatever reason that they are down and depressed for. You don't have to allow that to impact you. You don't have to allow that to impact you. You know how it is when you get into it with somebody and they tell you, you know what I'm saying, once you allow that person to make you angry, they now have control over you. Sharif, in peace, what's happening? Akuma, peace, my brother. But they tell you, once you allow that person to get you out of your element, they have control over you. So you have relinquished your self-control when you allow someone, when y'all are having a back and forth and you stoop down to their level, they have control over you. You gave them the power. Same as if you go in a room and you allow the energy that's in the room to consume you. You have given that room power over you. And it don't have to be like that. It don't have to be like that, man. Again, you the sole controller, man. Who's to say you can't change the vibe of the room? Why must you succumb to the vibe of the room? Who's to say you can't dictate the flow and change the vibe of the room? Sometimes we got to look at it in that light. We allow these people to have too much power. We allow them to have too much power. Again, you got some options. When you go into a room and you don't like the vibe, you can either leave, or like I said, you can change your perception and you can dictate the energy in a room. You can be the voice that these people may need to hear to change their energy levels, man, you know, to shift their energy level. Prodigal son, Lindell, peace, what's happening? To get off subject for a little minute, but prodigal son, when when people say that, again, people talk about broccoli being a hybrid vegetable and things like that. For one, we need to do a little bit further research pertaining to those things. And then when people say certain things are man-made, that don't necessarily mean that it's something negative and unhealthy. You know, man, I swear by broccoli being beneficial. So again, you got to experiment with the body. But just because something is considered man-made doesn't necessarily mean that it's bad for you. You know what I'm saying? So you got to experiment. But when you do the knowledge to like broccoli and spinach and things along those lines, man, you're going to, for one, see that it's a lot of benefits to it. But again, experiment with it on a personal level. That's what I recommend, because broccoli does me good. I don't have any problems with broccoli. Definitely don't have any problems with spinach. Even Elijah Muhammad tried to tell you to stay away from kale, but I don't have problems with any of these vegetables. I don't have a problem with any of these vegetables at all. Contrary to the popular opinions out here about the unpopular opinions out here about some of those vegetables that they call hybrid vegetables. But broccoli, I don't have a problem with broccoli. When I consume broccoli, I feel good. I feel good. So again, sometimes you got to experiment with some of these foods. But like I said, something being man-made don't necessarily mean that it's bad for you. Heck, when we take a bunch of fruits and vegetables and put them in the blender, that's actually processed. We have just created a processed smoothie because we taking a bunch of fruits and vegetables that don't actually go together. We putting them in the blender and we blending them up. We manufacturing that particular smoothie. So we taking strawberries, kale, spinach, hemp seeds, almond milk. Those things don't necessarily go together. So we actually that's processed. You know what I'm saying? So that's actually processed. When you make a smoothie and combine a bunch of things that don't go together, it's processed. That don't necessarily mean that it's bad, but it's technically processed. So a lot of times we got to think about things a little bit deeper, you know. But prodigal son for sure, man. Just eat the broccoli and the spinach, man, and see how you feel, man. If you feel good after eating the broccoli and the spinach, man, continue on with the consumption of it. That's what I did. I know where Dr. Sebi says. I know Dr. Sebi said, hey, don't eat the broccoli. It's a hybrid vegetable. Hey, broccoli does me good. And it's a lot of people I know that also do well with broccoli. You know, so like I said, that's why I don't really follow anything or any regimen to a T 100%. Because I'm always do the knowledge outside of what somebody is telling me. Because a lot of people that say that about broccoli, they are referring to the teachings of Dr. Sebi. And they honestly don't have any other reason for why you shouldn't eat the broccoli outside of they saying it's hybrid or man-made. That's it though. But when you actually try to get them to like really give you the science behind why it would be bad, they literally don't have any science. It's a lot of studies out here that have shown and proven that like broccoli, if you deal with lung cancer, like broccoli can actually help reverse the lung cancer or reverse the damage that like smoking causes to the lungs. Secondhand smoke, firsthand smoke. And a lot of people don't know that you can get lung cancer from inhaling the fumes from fried foods, and when you grill. You can get lung cancer from them joints. So a lot of people like, dang, man, how somebody get lung cancer when they don't smoke? They might fry a lot of foods and whatnot. You can get lung cancer from that. But if you eat a lot of broccoli, that can actually help reverse the condition and improve your lung quality. So a lot of people don't know that, man. We got to get into the science of some of these foods. But yeah, just you say I cut off anything that threads my peace, 100%. And that's self-control. That's self-control. See, a lot of us, we don't have that control. A lot of us feel like we got to save everybody. Sometimes, man, you got to say no even when it hurts. And y'all know what I'm talking about. You ever been in a situation where, man, it was like probably a family member or a friend, they really needed some assistance. They really legitimately needed some help. But you just wasn't in the proper space mentally and even physically to help them out. So you got to reject it. I mean, you just be like, man, I really wish I could help you right now, man, but I just don't got it. Just don't got it, man. Like, I'm literally not able to help you right now. I wish I could, but right now I can't. A lot of times people would take on that type of role and try to help this person out whole while they not equipped mentally and physically at this point in time to help the person out. I know a lot of people have put themselves in that position where you agreed to help somebody out, but you really wasn't in a position to help them out. So it ended up making you more stressed out trying to help this person out when you really wasn't able to do it. Sometimes you just got to say, man, I wish I could. If I could, I would, but right now is not the best time for me to try to help you in this endeavor or this situation because I'm not in the proper space mentally, physically, financially, whatever the case may be. I've seen people go into the negatives trying to help people out financially. Like, man, if you don't got it, you just got to let somebody know, man. If somebody needs some financial assistance, man, and if The only way you can help them is if you go into the negative. Just don't help them, man. Hey, if they don't understand that, then you need to cut ties with that person. If somebody can't understand the point of I don't have it, and if I did, I would help you. If that makes them mad, that makes them look at you a certain type of way, then you don't need to be dealing with a person like that anyway. Because that person that's asking you for something, if somebody asks them for something financially, they would have to tell them no, because obviously they don't got it. So if they're not able to understand the fact that you may not have it right now at this particular point in time, you might need to reevaluate that relationship anyway. So sometimes we got to learn how to say no when we literally cannot help a person, instead of trying to like force ourselves to help by any means necessary, putting ourselves in the negative. And when I say putting ourselves in the negative, I don't mean just your bank account, your physical bank account, your financial bank account. I'm talking about just mentally placing yourself in the negative state, helping somebody. You know how it is, man, when you take on that role and agree to help somebody, whole while deep down you really don't want to, and it's stressing you out negatively, like you shouldn't do it. If you can't, if you help somebody and it rubs you the wrong way, don't help them. If you're not able to just help somebody and give them some assistance and keep it going after you help them, if you got to complain about helping them, keep it pushing. Don't help said individual. Don't help said individual. If you're going to sit and complain about helping the person, don't help them. If you're not able to help somebody out the kindness of your heart, and once you help them and give them whatever it was that they asked for, and you keep it pushing, then you need not help that person. Because obviously it's something about that person that you don't trust or that you don't like, and you really don't want to help the person. You feel obligated to help the person for whatever reason it may be, whether it's your relationship or whatever the case may be. But if you feel that strongly about it to where you got to complain about the person and you still going out your way to help them, don't do it, because intentions are everything. Intentions are everything, man. A lot of people sit around helping individuals and wonder why things don't come back to them, because you helped the person, but your intentions were not pure. It was not genuine. So we got to understand that, like, your intentions are everything. The emotions that back what you do are everything in regards to the law of reciprocity. So if you help somebody, but it's like out of pity, then that energy may not come back to you. Like, I helped this person, but I ain't really want to do it, and I'm complaining about it. And you wonder why this stuff is not coming back to you full circle, because your intentions, man, your intentions. You helped that person, but you really didn't want to. You talk bad about them. You talk negatively about them while you're helping them. Nothing good is going to come back to you from that. Help the person because you want to help the person. If you can't help a person because of that, then you need not deal with that individual that's asking for the help. Tell them no. If a person come to you and they ask you for something financially, mentally, physically, whatever they ask you for, and you genuinely fooled this person, then you just gonna help. You're not gonna wonder what they doing with this money. You're not gonna question them, anything like that. You just gonna, all right, cool. You need $20, here you go, boom, and that's done. That's when you start to receive. That's when you start to receive that energy in return. That's when the law of reciprocity works in your favor. When you say, all right, you need 20, boom, here you go, cool. And we keeping it pushing, we keeping it moving. Not you need $20. Oh man, every time you come around, you need $20. Why you always need 20? I'm sick of you asking me for $20, and then I'm gonna give you the 20. Man, you come on, man. Bad intentions. Intentions were not pure. The emotion behind you giving is terrible. It's terrible. You feel obligated to give because you're afraid to say no to this person. So you gave out of fear. You just did not want to say no. You had a fear of saying no. Come on now. Can't have a fear to say no, man. Can't have a fear to say no, man. It's cool to tell somebody, man, I ain't got it. Or it's cool to tell somebody, look, I'm not helping you. I'm not helping you. Like, look, every time you come around, you ask me $20. I'm done, man. I gave you $20 the last 3 times. That was the last time. The last time I gave you 20, that was it. I'm giving you $20 no more, man, because it's getting ridiculous. So sometimes it's cool to put people in check like that, man. Sweet tea, peace, what's happening? Prodigal son for sure, man. A lot of us have taken these L's, man, in regards to just going out of our way, helping people whole while we struggling ourselves. You know what I'm saying? If I'm struggling myself, man, listen, I'm gonna have to really evaluate the situation. You know what I'm saying? When somebody asks me for some assistance, like if I really don't got it now, if I got it, cool, and I rock with you, hey, no problem. But if I don't got it and you asking me for something, man, and I got to really evaluate this situation. And I really don't care how somebody views me if I reject them. Like, man, I don't really get y'all. You can call me mean all you want, man. I know my heart. I know my intentions, man. I know all of that. I give a lot when I got it. Now, when I don't, I just don't. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, if anybody gets in their feelings about somebody telling them no, like, you really need to reevaluate the relationship with that person, because, again, especially if it's another grown person asking you for something that they can get on their own, and you tell them no and they get all in their feelings, they get all emotional. Like, all right, listen, especially if they not your kid or something. You know what I'm saying? It's like, whoa, wait a minute. Like, I'm not obligated to help you. I'm not obligated to assist you. So you getting in your feelings because I told you no, hold the phone. I'm not obligated to give you anything. JD, peace, what's happening? Just for sure. That's the mantra. You know what I'm saying? If I can, I can. If I don't, I won't. That's the mantra. That's the mantra. That is the mantra. But yeah, prodigal son, for sure. You know what I'm saying? You got to be a cheerful giver. Like, when I give, I give. I ain't even about to question it. Like, man, why they keep asking me, man? I think they got me. I think they spent this money on, man, listen, if I give you that 20, it's because I wanted to give you the 20. Not because I felt like I was obligated to give you the 20. If I give you that 20, it's because I wanted to give you the 20. I don't care what you do with it. If you choose to be dishonest, man, if you choose to do wrong with that 20, that's on you. All that stuff gonna come back to you, not me. I'm gonna get some positivity that comes back my way, because I gave you that out the kindness of my heart and I didn't have to. Percy, for sure, man, definitely. Like I said, I know plenty of us have probably been there, done that. You give, 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 and give. All of a sudden, you tell them no, and again, it's like you the evil villain. You the evil villain, man. I've been giving to y'all for 20 years, and when one time I say no, it's like I'm mean and I'm all type of nonsense, man. I'm you bougie, stuck up, all that type of nonsense, man. But you will give this person you will give to a person or a group of people for 15 plus years. The one time you say no, now it's a crime. Now it's a crime. Magic rooms for sure. Yeah, giving again. Yeah, never had those expectations. Yeah, giving without expectation is definitely the key for sure. 100% of the time. 100%. 100%. And again, goes hand in hand with the self-control. Having that control. Being able to tell people no, that's control. That's having control over yourself and the situation and your circumstances. Being able to tell people, being able to honestly assess your life and say, hey, man, I ain't got it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not able to help you right now, man, because I'm not in the position to assist you financially. Self-control. That's having mastery. That's having mastery over your life. That's having mastery over your circumstances. That's mastery. That's complete mastery right there, man. People, when we start talking about mental and physical mastery, people be thinking that it's real, it's something deep metaphysical talk. No, mastery is being able to tell people no. Like, when they come and ask you for some assistance, mastery is being able to say, nah, I don't have it. But if I did, I would. Like, that's mastery. That's mastery. Like, that's when you would see your life improve, when you able to do things like that. When you able to be honest with yourself and with other people, and you're not concerned about how they view you. Like I said, you're not concerned about how they judge you or how they misjudge you, for that matter. Tierra, yeah, the ones who, yeah, yeah, the ones who get mad when they owe you from previous times. Those are the ones that always grind my gears, man. They in debt to you about $3,000-$4,000, man. And one time you tell them, nah, you can't give them $5, they looking at you like, wow, that's crazy, because they are dependent on you. So that's another thing too. When you get in the habit of giving a person something, they become dependent upon that. So if you normally give somebody some money every time they ask for it, it's a habit now. So they used to you agreeing, they used to you giving. So the one time you say no, you have broken the habit. So they gonna spaz out because they so used to you saying, yeah, all right, cool, here you go, here go to 5, here go to 10. So the moment you reject them and say no, you have broken the habit. And we don't like when we break habits around here. So when the habit is broken, it's like they spaz out on you real quick because they now dependent upon you. So that's why sometimes you got to really be mindful when you start giving, because they gonna become dependent upon that and upon you. So we didn't seen that type of energy before, man. That's why that first time when somebody asks you something, you gotta be like, all right, man, you know what I'm saying? Gotta let them know. Like, I'm gonna do it this one time, man, but listen, I ain't gonna keep doing this every time. You gotta set the boundary right then and there, because that person, they gonna ask you again. Best believe it is a rare few who will ask for something maybe one time. Most of the time when somebody asks you for something like money or something like that, and you give it to them, they will ask again. And if you give it to them again, they're gonna ask again. They gonna do it. They gonna ask as many times as you continue to give. So remember that. Remember that. MC, man, I know how that go. I know how that go for sure. Hey, your son, man. Hey, join the club, man. It's a lot of us that have just sacrificed a lot time and the blood, sweat, and tears, and nothing in return in regards to reciprocating that same type of energy from other people. Like I said, that's why I have low expectations. You know, I don't expect for people to move how I move. You know what I'm saying? So when I give out the kindness of my heart, I really don't expect for people to move the same, because people are not the same. You know what I'm saying? We are not the same. So again, I don't have any expectations. When I give, it's because I wanted to give, not because I expected something in return. So once you eliminate the expectation, you don't even feel any type of way, man, when people don't reciprocate the act of giving, the kind act of giving. You know what I'm saying? So you good, because you're gonna receive that energy, man. You're gonna receive it one way or another. And it ain't necessarily got to come back to you from that particular person. So when you know you good, it's all good, man. When I give because I wanted to give, I know and understand that the law of reciprocity gonna take care of me. You know, I'm gonna receive my reward for that gift in one way, shape, or form. It may not come back from this person. Probably more than likely will not come back from the person that I gave it to, but it's gonna come back to me again in some way, shape, or form. And I'm cool with that. So once you know that, it makes it that much easier to just be able to give simply because you want to give, because you know it's gonna come back to you 100-fold. Oh yeah, MC, man. I really, you know what I'm saying? I really don't like this time of the year, honestly. Yeah, this time of the year is just a lot of excuses. Like I said, a lot of lack of self-control. Um, one or two ways. You know what I'm saying? Of course, we already know like the gifts and whatnot, but being in the fitness space, man, a lot of people lack the discipline around this time of the year in regards to staying committed and consistent with working out and then eating. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people hit me up and say, you know what, man, I want to start training. I want to do it after the holiday. Meaning, I want to be able to eat all the trash foods on Thanksgiving and Christmas. Then I want to try to work out. It's like, nah, the time is now. You're not guaranteed. You're not guaranteed life after. Like, you're not guaranteed to live that long, man. So the time is always now to start working on your health, man. But a lot of people want to push it back. And then when January hits, then what? Then they got more excuses. But they make these New Year's resolutions, and then about 3 weeks into January, they have abandoned the resolution to lose weight or to get healthier, whatever the goal is. So they hit you up in like November, be like, man, I want to get in the gym, I want to work out, but I want to start after the holiday. And they start making all type of excuses. You know what I'm saying? I want to be able to eat these foods. I want to be able to enjoy time. My family, like, people need to stop acting like you can't enjoy these stupid holidays by being plant-based or vegan. Man, there are plenty of vegan dishes and meals that one can have on these days, man. Stop using these holidays, man, as excuses in regards to why you're not taking care of yourself and also lacking the self-control that I'm talking about. It ain't the holidays' fault, it's your fault. Ain't nobody forcing you to eat that food. Ain't nobody forcing you to celebrate these days. This is you choosing to indulge in this nonsense. It's you choosing to lack control over yourself. You know you need to get healthy, and you know the time is now. But you are making a decision, and that decision is, I want to be able to eat the Thanksgiving food. I want to be able to eat the turkey, the macaroni and cheese, and all the garbage that we finna eat on Thanksgiving. Then I want to turn right back around and eat it on Christmas, then eat it on New Year's. Like, I want to eat all this trash food. And I'm just pointing out those days. You probably gonna eat trash all the way up until those days as well. You know what I'm saying? So again, lack of self-control, but we always want to blame it on everything and everybody else. All right, man, you know what I'm saying? It's the holidays. It's the holidays, man. You know what I'm saying? I can't commit to this, that, and the third. Man, yes, you can. If you got to make sacrifices, man, if some people just can't get certain gifts because you got to pay for your gym membership, then so be it. Again, we shouldn't be celebrating most of this nonsense anyway. And these corporations benefit from the junk, man, from the nonsense. And they continue to, don't even get me started on that, man. Y'all know where I'm going with that. But at the end of the day, man, if you need to make some sacrifices financially in order for you to take care of your health, it don't matter what time of the year it is, man. Do what you need to do. Do what you need to do. Brandon, peace, what's happening? And just you say, I ain't never heard that from them, but we know why though. Rashid, peace, what's happening? Your son, hey, your neighbor won't talk to you because he owe you some chump change. Well, you don't need to have conversations with the neighbor anyway. If they not talking to you because they owe you some chump change, then you need no relationship with that person at all. Like point blank, period. Yeah, Tierra. Once you tell them no, is it? It's a wrap. You know what I'm saying? You want to get somebody out your life, tell them no. When they ask you for some help, just tell them no. Tell them no. You know what I'm saying? If you want to remove people from your life, next time they ask you for some help, hit them with the big old no. I'm not doing it. They gonna remove themselves. They gonna remove themselves. The wife is in the building. Y'all say peace to the wife. Percy, you call that for one. You call that a greedy person. You call them greedy, inconsiderate, opportunist. Like, you call them all of that. You call them all of that. Greedy, opportunist, man. It's nonsense. Inconsiderate. Just all of that, man. All of that. All of that. All of that. Sharif, man, for sure. For sure, man. We always got to bounce back. And like I said, man, this is the time for excuses. You know what I'm saying? This is depending on where you live at. It's too cold. Just all type of excuses, man. We come up with all type of excuses in regards to why we can't take care of ourselves, man. All type of excuses. Better future, man. Hey, you have acknowledged it. So now what you gonna do about it? You know what I'm saying? So when you acknowledge it, when you know that, man, hey, around this time I always fold. Now it's time to do better. You have acknowledged the reality. It's time to do better now. You know what I'm saying? It is time to do better. Like, I'm able to go around people when it's Thanksgiving and watch them eat whatever it is they eat, and I'm good with some greens and some beans or something along the lines. You know what I'm saying? I don't care anything about this nonsense food, man, if it ain't green at Thanksgiving and Christmas and all that type of stuff, man. Because for one, I don't care about these days, nor do I care about most of the food that's associated with the day. You know, I care about my health before anything else. You know what I mean? So again, I'm able to be around these people around this time of the year, watch them pig out on the nonsense, and I'm good. I'm like, let me get these fruits. Let me get this salad. Let me get these greens. Let me get the salad. And then another thing too, where a lot of people make a mistake, and I've broken this down in several videos when it comes to like the mastery and the self-control in reference to like your nutrition. A lot of people go on these diets, and that's the problem. A diet is like restrictive thinking. And I've told people to just shift the wording a little bit. When you go on a diet and you around this food, your mind, you telling yourself you cannot. eat a certain food. Cannot or can't is restrictive, opposed to just saying I don't eat. Like that's how simple it is to exercise control and mastery. Switching from I can't eat that to I don't eat that. I can't mean I just can't eat it for the duration of this diet. So it's restrictive. It's like I would eat this if I could, but I can't because I'm on this diet. When you say I don't eat it, it's just like I don't eat that. It's like a person when they say I don't eat pork. It's not that I can't eat pork. I definitely can eat it. I just don't. It goes against everything I stand for. I don't eat pork. So again, change the wording. Don't tell yourself I can't eat that. I can't drink this soda. No, tell yourself I don't drink soda. Tell yourself I don't eat these sweets. I don't eat refined carbs. Not I can't do it. It's a difference. It's a difference, man. You got to play a trick on yourself psychologically. Stop saying I can't eat something and say I don't eat it. And watch how that changes the game for you. Don't believe me? Just do it. Watch how that changes the game for you. When you tell yourself what you don't eat versus what you can't eat, it's a different ball game. Different ball game. Different ball game, man. Different ball game. Nah, Brandon, man, for sure, man. Like I said, man, I'm in the business of looking out for myself at this particular point. And mind you, most of the people that ask you for some help and you tell them yes, like most of these people in your most serious situation, they would not help you. And that's the messed up part about it. If you had an emergency, most of these people that you have looked out for in your life, if you had an emergency, they would be nowhere to be found in regards to helping you. I didn't have plenty of people like that growing up, man. I done looked out for some people. I'm talking about, man, I have looked out for some people back in the day. And I guarantee you right now, man, if I was going through something real crazy right now, man, they'd be nowhere to be found. They'd be nowhere to be found. So I done been in plenty of situations like that. Again, why the circle is so small. You know what I mean? Because I don't roll with a lot of people. People make it seem like that it's partly by choice, but it's partly because I've given people chances and I'm like, nah, man, y'all keep fumbling the chances, man. So I'm not about to keep dealing with people. It's exhausting trying to establish new friendships every few years because people keep doing you dirty and betraying you. So it's best to roll solo dolo, one deep, as they say, in regards to like friends and an inner circle. You know what I mean? You ain't gonna let yourself down. And if you do, then that's just on you. Well, I can do what they say I could do bad on my own. So I ain't about to keep rolling with so-called friends and then they just keep doing me dirty, doing me bad. Like I'm not about to keep doing that. Nor do I care at this point in my life to be establishing new friendships. Man, who got time for that? So if I'm rolling with people, man, if I didn't roll with somebody since I was about born and they betrayed me, man, I don't trust. How I'm about to trust you when we just met at 30? Like, man, I'm good, man. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Your family, man, you done helped out family members and they didn't stole from you. Like, man, I don't have time for that, man. I don't have time for it, man. I don't have time for it at all. So once you have given people plenty of chances, man, and they continue to just betray you and just prove that point, man, at some point you're gonna be like, all right, I'm done dealing with people. I'm done entertaining people. I ain't got time for it. Because for one, I don't like meeting new people like that. So it's like, man, the people that I used to rock with back in the day, like if they didn't betray me, then that's just a wrap, man. I ain't about to go out of my way to be trying to meet new people. And be like, it just ain't even that serious to me right now. I got other things that I'm focused on. Better future, you say. Question: do you think the way we got off the plantation affects us as collective in every era of our lives? The punishment that comes from gaining knowledge about different history was a part of our trauma that created the habit of not being inclined or interested in learning different things like diet that can benefit us. What's your take on the restriction that we had to deal with in the past? Oh, hey, better future for sure. 100% it affects us. You know what I'm saying? When they gave us the slops, you know what I'm saying? When they gave us the undesirable parts of the of the pig and whatnot, and we turned it into soul food and all this type of nonsense. So it was a lot of unhealthy traditions and habits and mentalities that originated from the slave days, man. So we got a lot of unhealthy habits and whatnot, man, that we collected from back then that have been passed down from generation to generation. And that's why they say, you know what I'm saying, we got to break the generational curses. Where did these curses even start from? Where did they begin? These generational curses that we talking about breaking, they began back when a lot of our ancestors were enslaved. That's where a lot of these curses even derive from in the first place that we talking about breaking. The lack of knowledge, not having financial literacy. Where did that begin? Where did that curse begin? We wasn't like that before we was enslaved. Like we was the maker, the owner, the cream of the, like, listen, we had mastery over everything. We had mastery over everything. So we wasn't like that before we came over here. It's when we came over here that all of a sudden we start lacking that knowledge of self and not having the financial literacy. You know what I'm saying? Not knowing how to generate wealth and all of that type of nonsense, man. Like that all derived from us being enslaved. And that's why we try to go so hard to break these curses. Because back then they didn't have time. They wasn't even afforded the ability to deal with the trauma. They dealt with the trauma, they probably would have got killed, man. So they was forced to just accept things for the way that they were back then. Because if they tried to challenge the status quo, which plenty of them did, that didn't end too well for them. You know, so we got to continue. We got to continue to fight, man. And we got to continue to deal with the trauma. A lot of times I tell people, man, a lot of us are suffering from things that, like, we don't even realize where it came from, but it came from a lifetime that preceded us. So a lot of us have ailments and traumas that we dealing with that was passed down to us from our ancestors. Like they weren't able to deal with it, so they passed it down. And then their children weren't able to deal with it, so they passed it down. And now we here. So a lot of us, we have problems that were passed down to us from our ancestors, man, because they were not afforded the ability to deal with the trauma. So at some point, some of us have to deal with some of these traumas and resolve them so we can move forward. You know, and that's what breaking the generational curse means. You know what I'm saying? If I wasn't educated in regards to finances, like the financial literacy, and I don't go out of my way to learn, then I pass that down to my child. And let's say my child don't go out of his way to learn anything about financial literacy, then they pass it down. At some point, somebody got to say, look, hey, the world around me is hip to this financial, like they financially literate. So you know what? I'm gonna break this cycle because my people ain't know any better. So let me break the cycle. Let me break the curse. But that curse stemmed from us not being able to learn. Because then if we tried to read again, you was caught reading as a slave, they chopping your head off. They didn't like that. Unless they was able to control what it was that you were reading. Ray, peace, what's happening? What's happening? Yeah, just like I said, hey, the people that I was rocking with for years, like I said, those are some of the ones that do you the dirtiest. You know what I'm saying? That those are the ones that did me the dirtiest. So, like I said, when those individuals did me dirty, I was good. I'm like, well, these are people I knew the longest. Can't trust them, so I ain't going out of my way to try to establish new friends. That's it. Yeah, prodigal son, not crazy about it at all, man. Not crazy about that at all. Yeah, King 13 is way easier to navigate. Way easier to navigate, man. It's the like, man, trying to keep up with so many people. Like, I don't see how people do it, man. You gotta. When I think about people, man, I think of an obligate. Like, if I consider myself a friend, like I feel like I'm obligated to be a friend. So if I got like 5 or 10 friends, man, that's a lot of responsibility, man. Like I'm responsible for a lot of people, man, in regards to checking in on them and being a friend. I don't have time. I honestly don't have time for that. That's another reason why I ain't establishing friendships, man, because I know I'm not in the right space and time right now to be acting like I have the time to be checking in on people. Like I don't. So I wouldn't be much of a friend anyway because I don't have time and I got other things that I'm focused on. I ain't really got time to have conversations about your well-being right now, man, because I got things that I'm focused on for myself. And if you're not adding on to that, then we don't have much to discuss. You know what I mean? And a lot of times people ain't really striving to add on in that department in regards to what you got going on and what you building. They just want to use you to help them with their situation for the most part. So I ain't got time for it. Light body, peace. What's happening? What's happening? Tierra, you say you do realize when you're solo how much you allow others to drain you. Man, I realize that. I realize that on a day-to-day basis. I realize that on a day-to-day basis. I ain't even gonna lie. Man, I realize that on the day when listen, when I man, I realize that on a day-to-day basis how much people have just like drained me. Stuff is crazy. People be thinking I'm lying, man. I'm telling y'all, when I was working in corporate America, answering that peace queen, what's going on? When I was working in the banks, telling y'all, man, when I used to tell people, man, because people think the only way that you can be drained from work is if you are actually doing physical work. I'm like, nah, I was like, man, I've done physical work. I'm more drained when I gotta talk to people all day, opposed to just doing something all day. I would much rather do physical labor all day opposed to talking to people all day. When I used to have to talk to people for 8-9 hours a day, I mean, I still semi do it, but at least I'm semi talking about things that I care to talk about. But when I had to deal with the public for 8-9 hours a day, man, I used to be so tired, man. Like I'm talking about mentally and physically used to be drained. I'm like, man, I'm tired, yo. People do not understand social fatigue, man. That's social bad. Like that's real. It's real, man. That joint drains you, man. When people just coming at you, problem after problem after problem after problem, and you gotta solve these problems, like man, that will tear you down physically and mentally. I'm telling you, getting these physical labor and not having to talk to anybody. As long as it ain't like crazy back breaking labor, like just give me the physical, just give me something to do physically. I do that 6-7 hours and leave. Man, I can't talking to people all day about problems. No, no, like that stuff is crazy. Like that stuff is crazy, man. That will drain you. I'm telling you, that will drain you like no other. That will drain you like no other, man. That is very, very, very draining. And Carl, man, appreciate that donation to the Cash App. Yeah, but it's very, very draining. Like people may hear something about social batteries, like man, like my social battery life is not like, look, what's the best battery? Like Duracell or something, like whatever the best battery is, like my social battery is not that. I got the off-brand cheap battery in regards to my social battery life, man. It is terrible. Terrible, man. I cannot last long when I'm out in the public, when I'm dealing with people. You might got about a good 10, 15 minutes. If this conversation ain't going in a positive direction in about 10 minutes, I'm exhausted. You know what I mean? I am exhausted. I'm exhausted. I do not want to keep this conversation going. But those be the ones that it's hard to shut them up, man. It's hard to stop them from talking. But you got about 10, 15 minutes. It's like, all right, man, this conversation got to go in a better direction. Let's shift this conversation. You've been talking about this problem for 10 minutes, man. All right, now I'm not about to sit here and allow you to keep hammering away at this problem, and I got to listen to it. But the social battery trash, man. Like I just don't have it, man. At this stage in the game, I don't have patience. I don't have the patience, man. Especially when I'm talking to other adults. It's like I don't want to hear you continue to talk about a problem. Again, man, it's like I'm solution oriented, man. So I don't want to hear you continue to complain about like being out of shape, being bad with your money. It's like at this point, let's deal with the solution. Now, my social battery, you know what I'm saying, is better quality when we talking about something productive. Or you like, you know what I'm saying? When we talking about something productive and uplifting, I can talk forever. But when the conversation is toxic and negative, no, I'm not. 10 minutes may be generous. I probably is 5 minutes, and I'm just like, all right, we got to change it. We got to shift it. Light body every time, man. I'm telling you, people. One thing you will find out about people if you haven't already discovered this, people lack substance. People lack substance. People cannot have in-depth conversations about things that really matter. They can't even have in-depth conversations about themselves, like just on like a metaphysical level, like just getting deep in regards to themselves. Like a lot of people can't even hold those type of conversations. But they can talk about the latest gossip. They can talk about the latest celebrity news. They can talk about that. But I don't care about it. So when people start talking about that, I done been there, done that. People will start talking about some of these celebrities, and I'll be like, yeah, what happened? Like, who is that? Like, I'm out of the loop sometimes, man. I don't really care to be in the loop. Because once they start telling me what happened, I'm like, okay, cool. So why are you talking about that so heavy? Like, what's the point? What are you gonna get out of that? I'm at a point in time in my life where like I'm thinking about what do I get out of this conversation? Like, what am I gonna get out of focusing on this? Like, I got too much I'm responsible for right now. So if I'm going to dedicate some time and energy to something, it's gotta be worthwhile. I gotta be able to extract something from it. I gotta be able to get something from it. If I'm not able to get anything from it, then it's like, no, I'm not about to indulge in it. Like, I'm not, what benefit am I going to receive or reward am I going to receive from focusing and concentrating on this? If the answer is nothing, then I'm not indulging in it. Hey, just more power to you. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm I'm sociable when the topic is right and exact. When we talking about something that is relevant and makes sense, oh, I'm talking. If it's something that's pertaining to some stuff that I'm interested in or some things that just make sense, we having a conversation. We talking. But for the most part, 95% of the people that I come across, the conversation is like, man, what, like, that's what's grinding your gears right now. Like, that's what got you interested. Like, when I start hearing people and I'm like, so that's what got you interested. Like, that's you interested in it. So you're going to spend your whole day talking about this. You're going to spend your whole day researching this. Like, I can't do it, man. I mean, people be riled up by some very interesting things out here. Some very interesting things. And I would be cool if people had balance. So even still, like sometimes I can talk about the nonsense and be versatile. But it's like when it's time to have a serious conversation, that's when the people fold and they can't have a serious conversation. So I can get down on your level and talk about some of the celebrity gossip. But then it's like, all right, now it's time to have a serious conversation. And I bring the books out and now everybody want to run. Nobody wants to have a conversation. So everybody wants you to have these type of nonsensical, irrelevant conversations. And then when you try to have a serious conversation, they tell you that you're too serious. Whole while you just engaged in a nonsensical conversation with the person. Now when you want to take it to a serious level, now all of a sudden you too serious. You looking into things too deeply. It's like, dude, we let you. All right, I stoop down to your level. Now I'm just asking you to be respectful in regards to my level. But people don't do that. When it's time for the conversation to get serious, people start running. Then been there, done that. Been there, done that. When it's time to have a serious conversation, man, most people, because they lack the substance, man, they start getting nervous. They start getting nervous. Justin, peace. What's happening? They get nervous. You know what I'm saying? They get straight up nervous. Straight up nervous. But again, like I said, I can deal with the versatility, man. I can talk about the nonsense if I need to. You know what I'm saying? If I need to, I can do it. So I ain't gonna be one of them people, you know what I'm saying? All right, man, forget y'all. I ain't talking about this. I can talk about it, but then it's like, all right, cool. When we gonna talk about something that, you know what I'm saying, that's a little more efficient or productive? When we gonna have that type of conversation? I'm ready for that one, but it never happened. Hey, King, man, for sure. That's the only way to do it. I didn't deal with some hard cases. You know what I'm saying? Some people, people that love to hear themselves talk to the point where it's like, man, they will not shut up. Like those individuals are hard to deal with. Now, some people, you know what I'm saying, they talk to you, but they at least give you the opportunity to respond every so often. And when they give me the opportunity to respond, then it's like, all right, cool. We can shift the direction of the conversation. Some people, man, they just talk, and it's like they don't even take a breath. And I'm talking, they go 10 minutes strong just talking. So it's like, man, those people are the ones, man. It's hard to deal with them. Like, dude, please be quiet for a second and let me respond to something. Yeah, better future. A lot of people don't. A lot of people don't. And again, man, that's one of the reasons why I don't throw problems like my problems on another person. I don't do that, man. You don't know what people are going through. Sometimes I feel like that's quite selfish for you to like start talking to a person and just throw all your problems on them. When especially you don't know what state of mind that person is in. Like I'm not about to just start chopping it up with a person and just start throwing all my depressing news on them, all the depressing things that I'm going through. Like I feel like that's selfish. If man, you don't know, man, that person could be on the brink of self-destruction, and you just throwing more depressing news on them. That is not going to help their situation. That's not going to help their situation. So a lot of times I feel like that's just rather selfish, man, for you to be chopping it up with a person and you just throwing all your depressing information and news on them, and then you're not even giving them the ability to reciprocate it. If they try to throw their negative news or depressing news on you, you're gonna be like, man, I don't want to be around this person. They so negative. But you're gonna do it, you're gonna do it to them though. So I feel like sometimes that's selfish, man. Like if you don't know the state of mind of a person, the quality of a person's mindset at a particular point in time, man, to throw all your problems on them, to throw that depressing information on them, that's kind of selfish. Because again, you don't know what this person is going through. You don't know what a person is going through, man. Do not just bombard them, man. Don't bombard them with a bunch of problems. Don't do that. Don't do that at all, man. You don't know what didn't happen in their life, man. Somebody can been and died, man. They could been in attempted to suicide and all that type of stuff. Man, you don't know what you're dealing with. So again, think before you just start throwing your problems on somebody, man. Just think about it. Maybe this person is going through something way worse than what I'm going through. So maybe they don't want to hear that. I didn't. It's crazy because I done had a lot of people, man. A lot of people know my type of energy and vibe, right? So I done had some people that I would train initially. I didn't literally have people come into my gym, man. I'll be like, man, so you know what I'm saying? What's the word? How y'all doing? Or how you doing? And they'll be like, man, I'm not doing the best, but I don't want to bring that negative energy into your establishment. Like that's that's the respect that I have out here in regards to me just valuing my peace. It's people that know better than to bring some of that negativity in my gym. They like, man, I don't feel the best, but man, nah, I'm not gonna bring that negativity into your establishment because I know what you be on. So there we go. You know what I'm saying? They know that this. Listen, don't do that. You got to have some type of safe space, man. This ain't the play. You got to have a place where you can go where it's like, man, we're not going to be talking about the negativity. So at least they respect that place enough to say, man, this is a gym. We don't want to make this environment depressing because then you never getting away from the depression. You never getting away from the negative thoughts. So you got to go somewhere where it's like, all right, I'm not going to focus on it. Working out is supposed to be an outlet. It ain't supposed to be, I'm not a therapist. So it's not supposed to be that though. You know what I'm saying? It's not supposed to be that at all. It's not supposed to be that at all. So it's crazy, man. It's crazy. Like people, and I ain't never. And again, hey, the door's always open. I ain't never rejected them, but it's crazy. I had a few people like, man, I ain't even gonna bring that into your establishment. Just straight off of respect. Just straight off of respect, man. Just straight off of respect. They like, man, you know what? Nah, man, I respect your establishment. We ain't bringing that energy into the building. Cool. Let's get to work. That's what I'm saying. Oh yeah, Jed, yeah. What's crazy is you would think by now that when somebody hears "Wow, that's crazy," that universally people will understand that like we really not interested in what's being said. But it's crazy still when I hear people with the "Wow, that's crazy," that's like they give them more ammo to just continue to talk. I thought when I hear "Wow, that's crazy" in my mind, when I tell somebody something, they say "Wow, that's crazy." Instantly, I already know like, okay, yeah, we about to stop this conversation. They not interested in what's being said because they hit me with the "Wow, that's crazy." But the average person, you hit them with the wow, that's crazy. They literally, legitimately still think you interested in what's being said for the most part. And they finna continue on. They like, oh, okay, wow, that's crazy. Oh, okay, he responded. Let me continue on. When I hear wow, that's crazy, I already know what it means. Wow, that's crazy. They did not just even hear what I said, let alone understand it. So let's end this conversation. But I didn't hit plenty of people with it. Oh man, wow, that's crazy. And they keep going. I mean, they keep going, going, and going. It's like, okay. So I guess they didn't get, you know what I'm saying? They didn't get the memo in regards to wow, that's crazy is synonymous to all right, man, let's wrap this up. You know, let's end this conversation. They didn't get that memo at all. They didn't get the memo. So I don't even hit people with the wow, that's crazy no more because that don't even work. Like it literally does not work, man. So I be having to try other things, man. I be saying some of everything. Like my responses, I hit them with one-liners and everything. It's like a lot of stuff just don't work. I start looking at my phone, everything to show that I'm not interested in the conversation, and people will still go. But like I said, man, again, man, I'm usually down for a very good conversation when it's productive. I'm only talking about the people that's talking to me about things to where it's irrelevant, you know, irrelevant. Like when I'm talking to the average person, the masses, so to speak, and they talking about a bunch of nonsense and they lack substance. You know what I'm saying? I could deal with a person that's talking and they got some insight, they got some substance. We can have conversations. We can have a dialogue. We can have a dialogue about what it is that you're talking about. We can talk about it. If I can talk about something with a person where we can go back and forth and get our ideas off our chests, you know, and perceptions and how we view the things or outlook out in a respectable manner, then I'm all good. It's just the people that want to hear themselves talk and don't want to let you get a word in where I'm like, all right, Justin, hey, this is the book of the day. I had showed it earlier, but you wasn't tapped in at that time. But this nonviolent stuff will get you killed. How guns made the civil rights movement possible. As you see the cover, man, you got Granny sitting on the rocking chair. I think it's a rocking chair. Granny on the chair with the shotty, man. Granny ain't playing with y'all, man. This nonviolent stuff will get you killed. Word to Malcolm X, Huey Newton, them, and all them good people, man. The nonviolent stuff will get you killed. And we ain't trying to get killed out here. You know what I'm saying? Time for peace, time for war. So sometimes we got to choose violence. You know how they say you woke up today and chose violence? Sometimes that's what it's about. Got to choose that violence. You know what I mean? So again, that's the book of the day right there. You know, so again, man, like back to just self-control and mastery. So like I said, I know this is a very critical time that we are approaching. Like I said, it's the holiday season. This is where a lot of people like slip up. A lot of people slip up. Then they try to bounce back by making New Year's resolutions. I want to tell you right now, the time is always now to start focusing on yourself. The time is not after Thanksgiving. The time is not after Christmas. The time is not January 1st. The time is always now. The moment that you realize and acknowledge that you have a problem or something that you need to do, the time is always now to start doing it. You don't have to wait till next week. You don't have to wait, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I want to start off fresh next week. If you realize something on a Thursday, then you start on that Thursday. Don't say, oh, you know what, I'm going to wait till Monday to start. Nah, you start now, instantly. As soon as you make the realization, it's time to start. It's time to start putting things in motion. That's the mental and the physical mastery, man. When you come across something that you know you need to do, start now. Again, that's what our alphabet say. Now or never. Like, it's always now. That is the proper time to start putting things into motion. Once you realize it, the time is always now. So again, never forget that. Never forget that. Time is always now. Stop postponing your self-development. Stop postponing your growth. Stop postponing your greatness. Stop doing that. It is always now. Again, if you need to lose 50 pounds, don't wait until next Monday to start. Start now. Start now. If you're trying to gain 10 pounds of muscle, don't wait till January 1st. Start now. Start now. The process, everything and all that, it always starts right now, man. So I'm pretty sure plenty of you all have goals. Whatever your goal is, now is the time to start that goal. Now is the time to start that goal. So I don't care whatever your goal is, man. It's always now is the time to start. Now, I'm pretty sure there's a certain part of the process that you can start working on right now today. I'm not saying, all right, cool. If you Thursday you wake up and say, man, I want to lose 50 pounds. I'm not telling you that you necessarily got to wake up and start hitting some push-ups as soon as you realize it, or you got to get on a treadmill as soon as you realize it, which that'd be cool. But you could probably just start planning it out. How you gonna go about it? That's you starting right now. Saying, all right, man, all right, I'm gonna work out 4 or 5 days a week. I'm gonna do 30 minutes of cardio. I'm gonna do strength training 3 days a week. You mapping it out is you starting. But instead, a lot of people say, man, I want to lose 50 pounds. I'm gonna start working out next week, and then go back to sleep, and then don't understand how when it's the next week, when it's that next Monday, why they can't start. Like, nah, man, when you just listen, all right, I need to lose 50. All right, here's the formula. This how I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna eliminate this out of my diet. I'm gonna stop eating this. I'm gonna start eating more of this, and I'm gonna follow this exercise regimen because I've been reading about such and such, and they lost 100 pounds in a year. So I'm gonna follow what they did. Woo, woo. This how I'm gonna go about it. That's you starting that process now. Oh, Justin, man, subconscious mind definitely your most powerful weapon, man, for sure. People sleep on it. Got to program the subconscious mind. You got to create habits, healthier habits. That's what you got to do. We are creatures of habits, man. So if you want to manifest some things, you got to make these things a habit. So we creatures of habit, man. We creatures of habits. So again, man, create, establish better habits, more positive habits, more powerful habits. Because again, we creatures of habits, man. Like, we rely on habits. We are habitual creatures. Yeah, Magic Rims. Hey, man, affirmations save your life. Affirmations will save your life for sure. Big time. Will big time save your life. Yeah, I definitely don't care for them, man. I do not care for the New Year's resolutions at all. Hey, I'm all for new day resolutions, man. New minute resolutions, new hour resolutions, man. You can make a resolution anytime you come up with the idea that something needs to change in your life. So you can make a resolution every day. But we want to wait to New Year's, man, and we create some resolutions, man. Create 2 or 3 of them, man, and we don't stick to any of them. We don't stick to any of them. So stop wasting your time on New Year's resolutions, man. Listen, stop wasting your time. If you come up with something in November and you say you're going to start in January, stop wasting your time. What's stopping you from starting now? What's stopping you from starting now? That's what I want to know. The answer to that is nothing. There is nothing stopping you from starting right now. Nothing at all. But I'm sure we can find some excuse or whatever, some reason, some justification. I'm sure we can find it. I'm sure that won't be too hard. But y'all, man, with that being said, man, I gotta make my rounds, man. I gotta get up to this gym. Got a few sessions, few classes that I gotta attend to. So I gotta, you know what I'm saying? I gotta get the gym ready, torture these clients. Y'all know how we do it. Y'all know how it goes. I may try to tap in with y'all tomorrow. If not tomorrow, most definitely Wednesday. But I appreciate all the comments, man. I appreciate the cash apps, all that good stuff, man. It's always peaceful vibes. Gonna keep it that way because we speak it into existence. But I gotta go ahead and make my runs, man. Make my moves. Y'all be easy. Enjoy the rest of this Monday, y'all. I'm out. Peace.